Hi cuties, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to do a sectioned off tumbler. Here I am just measuring my already prepped, sanded and painted tumbler. So I am just going to mark off my sections to start off, and then I am going to just double check my measurements just to make sure that I have the correct sizes on my sections for this tumbler. I'm just eyeballing it, not necessarily, um, you know, 100% accurate on this. And then I'm just going to take some masking tape, but in all reality, um, I should have started with my outer sections first before glittering my middle section. Um, I just completely spaced on the way that I wanted to do the tumbler. To be honest, I didn't really know what I wanted to do um, with the end pieces, like my first and my last section. So all I know is all I knew was what colors I wanted to use. So I am using, I believe it's called Amoxicillin from the Glitter Pharmacy. Um, Probably not pronouncing that right, but if I remember, I will put the name down below in the description. And I am also using Exotica by the lovely rockiroadkreations. You guys have seen me use a lot of her glitters. And I thought these two colors looked really cute together. And I just kind of created whatever this is. It's kind of like a swirl design pattern on the ends. Um, I did end up measuring the width of my tumbler so that I can make sure of my spaces. So um, after I removed all of that, then I just ended up taking about 1 inch. I believe this was a 1 inch masking tape. So I took the masking tape and I started to lay it down diagonally. And this is where I kind of messed up, but in the end, it all worked out. Um, Honestly, looking back, I would have probably started with the diagonal lines first, but I mean, I just kind of spaced and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with those two sections. All I knew is that I wanted the middle to be pink, so that's what I went ahead and did. So after I finished applying the tape all the way around my tumbler. And by the way, this is a 40-ounce tumbler from Craft Haven, and it is approximately 10 inches in diameter. So I applied 10 strips, which in the end it worked out perfectly because then I could have 5 of the Exotica glitter and 5 of the Amoxicillin glitter. I still don't think I'm pronouncing that right. But anyways, after I was done taping it, I started to remove every other section so that I can create sort of like a swirl pattern, if that makes any sense. So just on the top and the bottom is where that swirl pattern is going to go. So after all of this, um, you could probably just like take 5 pieces or 6 pieces and then just like put one piece in between and just put the rest of your pieces if you don't want to waste a lot of tape. Um, I just I wasn't necessarily sure that I wanted to do that, just in case I messed up or anything. So I just put all of the tape down and um, applied it to my tumbler. Obviously, some pieces I had issues with, and there you see me, I am trying to align it as best as I can with another piece of tape on the bottom because again, I should have started with that in the first place. So, um, yeah, after I finished all of this, we're pulling off the tape, and I kind of wanted to create something where um, it kind of like interchanged between the sections. So here you see me, I am going to start with that light pink on the top of my tumbler, and once I finish glittering all of my sections here, I am going to let it dry, and because this is a light color, um, honestly I would have liked to start with my other glitter because it was a little bit more of a darker color, even though it was kind of just like it's kind of like a gold mix, I guess you could say. Um, the color is gorgeous. It has like pinks and blues, purples, and to me it looked really nice. Um, so I would have probably started with the other one because it was darker, but since I started with this, I did have to wait for it to completely dry before I moved on to my next section. And I am just going to continue all the way around, and I will be pulling off the tape as soon as I finish glittering all of these sections, since I am using Mod Podge and I don't want any of the glitter or the glue to peel up when I peel up my tape, because um, I have done like waited in the past where I wait for my Mod Podge to dry and then I pull off my tape, but every time I do that, the Mod Podge and the glitter end up peeling with it. So yeah, we're just gonna um, pull all of the tape off as soon as I am done glittering, and then I am going to let it wait and let it set so that it is completely dry and I can move on to my next section. Obviously, knocking off any excess glitter that I have, and once it's dry, I am going to go in with a dry brush and knock off any of the excess glitter, and if I need to apply any more of this pink glitter, I will go ahead and do that. Um, so that it can have like a good coverage on the tumbler, and I guess it's not as visible for the tumbler, if I'm making any sense. So yeah, I'm just gonna peel these off, and then I am gonna start peeling off the ones on the bottom, and I did kind of mess up. I mean, what else is new, right? Um, so here I kind of just like smushed all of the tape together, which in hindsight I shouldn't have done because then I kind of struggled to take off the tape. But it all worked out, and we ended up just moving on and going in with color, the next color, and then waiting for it to completely dry again, and then knocking off any glitter. If you have like a dump bucket that you use, I would suggest using that just to catch any of the contaminated glitter because it will most likely end up getting contaminated. Um, so yeah, just keep that in mind. And after that is done, I am just going to wait for the glue to dry, and then in between those lines, I am just gonna go in with the pink and obviously, glitter your bottom. Um, I was kind of debating on whether to do this pink or to leave it with the Exotica color, but I ended up just using Exotica because that's the color that I like. Um, I really, really like this mix, and I think those little like pink specks that it has in it were brought out even more with the light pink glitter. Sometimes I do this, I just dump out a little bit of the glitter onto my parchment and then just tap in the bottom of my tumbler, knocking off any excess with some scissors. With designs like this, I do sometimes go in and touch up some of the areas and then apply the glitter. So like I said, once I am finished with this design, or not the design, with glittering all of my sections, I am going to knock off any excess, do a second layer of glitter, and then I am going to put down a coat of epoxy. I use approximately 50 milliliters of epoxy. Sorry, I cannot talk today. Um, I did end up having to do a second coat because that Exotica glitter is kind of like a chunky mix. So I did do a second coat of glitter. So that was 2 of 50 milliliters that I did for the tumbler. Alright, so once that epoxy dried, I am going to go in with some gold lines that I cut out at 0.15, I believe, by 11, just to give myself a little wiggle room. And I am going to go in and separate all of my sections so that this tumbler could end up looking fantastic like it did. um, so I wasn't sure if I wanted to use like a gold type of vinyl, but I ended up loving how it looked. I was gonna use a textured vinyl, but then um, I thought it would have looked a little too much like the glitter that I used, the Exotica color. Um, I honestly don't know how that would have looked. I don't think it would have looked that bad, but I decided to just go with this type of vinyl. So it's just a gold metallic kind of vinyl. Um, I believe I got it off of Amazon. I'm not sure. I don't necessarily remember. I do know it's not the Cricut brand. So I actually do think I got it off of Amazon. So I am just going to wrap my tumbler with those two sections. I didn't know if I wanted to do a decal or something in the middle, and I still don't. So, um, I don't know if I will ever end up doing anything in the middle or if I am just going to keep it blank and pink like that. So, yeah, I'm not sure yet. So, once I finished all of this, I am gonna go in with my thinnest lines, which are these, and I am going to place them on my sections on those little swirled lines. Um, so I believe one of these strips was enough for about 3 of the lines, or yeah, no, I think it was like 3. So yeah, if you cut the lines at 0.15 by 11. You could also do 11 and a half, like whatever your Cricut capacity is. Or if you have like one of the larger mats, then I guess you can do like bigger sections or of bigger lines, longer lines actually. And so yeah, I'm just gonna align it and trim off any of the excess with my craft knife. And I'm just gonna keep going all the way around, and then after I finish putting all of the swirls on the top and the bottom, I am going to seal it with Quick Coat from Counterculture DIY. So Quick Coat is basically like a water-based sealer, so that whenever you're using holographic or metallic vinyls, they don't lift up. Um, you could also use it with fabric tumblers. I have never done a fabric tumbler with quick coat, but I have seen other creators do so. Um, so yeah, quick coat is just, like I said, it's a water-based sealer that will help your items, your strips, or whatever decals you have that are going to be in holographic vinyl, that they don't somehow like scamper off of your design and start lifting up. So once I finish all of this, I am going to apply the vinyl strips to the top as well, and then I am going to seal it and epoxy it with another 50 milliliters of epoxy. Usually when I epoxy, I go 10 above whatever the ounces I am working on. So if I were to work on a 30 ounce, I would do 40 milliliters. If I did a 20 ounce, I would do 30 milliliters. Um, it's just kind of a rule of thumb that I follow just so that I won't have like epoxy missing, I guess. Well, not missing, but like that I don't mix up enough epoxy and then have to mix a whole new batch to finish epoxying a tumbler. And whatever epoxy I have left over, I can just put it into a mold. Um, I do actually like to epoxy about like 4 cups at a time, just because right now the weather is really cold and it just it's really hard to get my craft area to the temperature that I need. So um, when I am doing my videos, I don't know if you guys noticed in the last video, but you actually saw a little sneak peek of this tumbler. And that is because of the same reason. Um, I have to get my craft room to warm up, and then I have to epoxy. So I usually epoxy about 4 tumblers at a time so that I have enough to have content for you guys. So speaking of content, I do apologize for not being able to upload videos on Wednesdays. Um, I have been a little bit sick and I have had some activities in my church. So thank you guys for being so patient and waiting for the next video. Um, I am going to try and keep up with the regular um, YouTube schedule that I have put for myself, which is uploading on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Um, and thank you guys so much for helping me get to 200 subscribers. I know it's not a lot, but we are celebrating the small victories. So thank you guys so much for staying with me and helping me. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. And I will hopefully see you guys on Wednesday with another video.